Welcome back to Death Mark 2. It's time to return and get to the next chapter. Is everyone excited for this? I know I am. The following day at Cujo Mansion. Hello? Eira Nakamatsu here. Oh, hi. Thanks for your help again last night. What do you want? Actually, Miss Yasoka called me this morning to tell me something. The departed's figure is getting darker and darker each day. You should back away from this now. Oh. Coming from a spiritualist like Yaz, whose words would carry some serious weight, no wonder he's scared. Ada's information has really been a great help, but with all the people we've lost on this case, there's just no way I can try and talk him into risking his life to help me out. I got it. You were a great help. Thanks for all the work you did for me. Really, you're just gonna keep going? Oh! I'll get back to teaching you how to work the computer once this case is all done. We'll start with the internet use. That'll be something nice for you to look forward to, Yoshiki. Yeah, thanks. This is fine. The Departed's Wrath.
死人のたたり
I leave the mansion to head to Konohara Academy. I have to report last night's events to Mr. Konoe. I enter the special building and walk towards the infirmary. As usual, there's nobody inside. I better go to the faculty room. Mr. Konoe is waiting for me. Since the afternoon classes are still in session, the faculty room looks emptier than usual. Mr. Konoe, who's sitting in the back of the room, notices my arrival. Oh, you're here, Yoshiki! His voice sounds weak, and for some reason his complexion doesn't look so good. Are you alright? I assume you're inquiring about my physical condition? No, I am not well. I've been feeling lethargic and sluggish all morning. Perhaps it's the ravages of the stress taking a toll on my body. But that's enough about me. I heard you received a notice yesterday. How did the investigation go? I give him a detailed report about Mr. Kokori's case from beginning to end. The sour expression on his face as he listens to my recounting of the events of last night tells me all I need to know. Goodness gracious. First Izumi, then Horikoshi, now Kakuta. 3 students have gone missing under my watch. And yet again, you failed to protect the targeted student. I mean, listen here, you little shit. I guess we should apologize. We tried. Why are you apologizing to me? The students and their parents are the ones who you should be apologizing to. Mr. Konoe, you can fire me if you like. But how would you stop the departed then? Mr. Konoe falls silent at my words. You're right. No matter how many valid complaints I have, it doesn't change the fact that you're the only hope I have to rectify the situation. I let out an overly exaggerated sigh. I understand the situation he's in. Plus, what else can I do other than threaten him to stop bothering me? However, one more victim and you'll be dismissed. Sakamoto has backed me into a corner. She's suspicious of you, especially in regard to Doru and Kinukawa. But she's misunderstanding the situation. Your last chance, understood? Yeah. Good. That's all from me then. Don't let me down, Yoshiki. I leave the faculty room, feeling Mr. Kanoe still staring daggers into my back. Honestly, I couldn't care less if Mr. Kanoe and Sakamoto suspect me. But if I get kicked off campus, I won't be able to investigate. And I know I'm the only one who can pursue the departed and bring this to an end. I can't afford to make any more mistakes. A chime sounds over the speakers. Looks like class is over already. What do I do now? I really want to start doing some investigating, but I have no idea where to start. The departed who is still hiding at Konohara Academy is playing their cards well. There don't seem to be any clues left. I have to pick one spot that still has some ties to them. The clock tower seems like the prime spot. During summer vacation, Doru and Michio saw a female doll in a red dress there. At that moment, their bodies were afflicted with a curse. If the departed was the one who caused it, then that tower is probably connected with them. There might be something in there, but Doru can't find the key. Should I go visit her? I think it's student council. Doru is standing near the window when I enter the room. She notices my presence right away and turns to me. Oh, so you're here today. I heard about Kakuta from Michio. Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Say, Doru, is the key to the clock tower still missing? Yes, I've been looking for it everywhere. I see. Just like that, the thin thread that might lead me to some answers has been severed. About the clock tower. One time the clock tower doll I saw made the school paper. I was skimming through the school's old newspapers this morning, hoping to get information about the departed. And then I found an article about a female doll. Mr. Kanoe had told me the school's historical records were lost due to war damage. But for it to have been buried in the school newspaper archives? Aren't you squeamish when it comes to horror stories and the like? What made you do that? I'm cursed, asshole. Oh, I just wanted to be of some help. No problem. Glad to be able to hear that from you. Can you tell me the details of that rumor? Yes. There was a rumor going around that Konohara Academy. "60 years ago, the first headmaster built the clock tower to commemorate the school's 10th anniversary. So there's nothing in the clock tower image right now. A stylish stone clock tower that stood tall in the remote countryside at Konohara. Many students were wondering what the inside of the tower was like. Overcome with curiosity, some eventually snuck into the tower. What they saw inside the tower was the first headmaster's collection. There was a lot of antique things, but the item that caught the attention of most people was a doll wearing a red wedding dress that lay on a stone altar. Rumors of the doll spread in no time because everyone was interested in its origins. However, the first headmaster had already passed away by that time, so he was unable to answer those burning questions. But nobody would tell the truth. Wild speculation regarding the doll ran unchecked. The first headmaster had always been fond of antique goods, had bought that doll from a European family. It's a cursed doll that was modeled after a young girl who became sacrifices. The first headmaster had a craftsman make the doll to enshrine the deities of Konohara. It's a doll made to calm the soul of a student who lost their fiancé and committed suicide. No definitive answer was ever found because there wasn't anyone around who knew the truth. In the end, everyone forgot about the doll in the clock tower once the war broke out. And that was the rumor featured in the school newspaper. It's truly an interesting story, but the rumor has so many variations regarding the origins of the doll. Which one is the truth, if any? Right, let me confirm one thing. Are there any rumors about the doll moving? No, none at all. Oh, okay. There are people who have seen the female doll, but not when she's moving. Guess I'm the only one who witnessed it. I've got to go soon. Thanks, Doru. I hope that information could help you in some way. I have to head out as well. The teachers told us not to stay at school. I say goodbye to Daru and leave the student council room. Rumors of the female doll. The rumors of the clock tower involved a doll in a red wedding dress that is placed on an altar inside. However, no one knows its origins. It's the same doll that shows up everywhere I go. I need to find out if the doll and the departed are related, in addition to a way to enter the clock tower itself. We haven't gone to the library yet. When I step into the library, I find a girl whose appearance clashes with the place. Sup? Kakuta didn't come to school today. You know anything about it? Sorry, no idea. There's no way I can tell Morihashi about Kakuta's death. What are you doing here? I'm just chilling here. I've got no place to go. Not after I learned how terrifying that corridor was. Then you should just go home. Didn't the teachers tell you not to hang here after school? Who knows, maybe something weird will happen to you again. Stop acting like a teacher and don't freak me out like that. I was about to go home anyway. My body just feels really heavy somehow today. Are you going to stay until night again? If you do, be careful. I have a bad feeling. I say goodbye to Morihashi and leave the library. We could go to the new building. Let's go back into the faculty. When I enter the faculty room for a second time, I see Sakamoto inside. Still plaguing on school, are you, Mr. Yoshiki? I asked Mr. Konoe to do away with you, though. Oh, don't worry. He heard you. He told me that I'll be dismissed if I make another mistake. That Konoe is far too lenient. If an incident occurs, it'll be too late. We need to deal with this problem quickly. By problem, are you referring to... She doesn't care about the departed. Good to know you understand, Yos. Good to know you understand it yourself. Oh, wrong one. I don't know. I don't know what kind of nonsense you've concocted in that head of yours, but I assure you there's nothing going on. I have no intention of doing anything untowardly with any students. And yet, an incident can still occur even without a teacher having such intentions. Just like in Mr. Hiro's. Hiro's the art teacher Sakamoto told me about when I was investigating Slipmouth Kashima. Both Kashima and Watanabe had a crush on him, which spiraled into a tragic consequence. I've warned Daru and Kunokawa not to get close to you, but seeing them defend you so fervently, the situation is getting dangerous. That's what my intuition as a woman is telling me. Let me repeat it again. This is all just a big misunderstanding on your part. I've warned you, Mr. Yoshiki. If you'll excuse me then. Ouch. Sakamoto grimaces, pressing her finger to her temple. Hey, you alright? Leave me be. I'm having a terrible headache since this morning. This is all your fault. Yours. Mumbling invasive. Okay, at me. Curses at me. Sakamoto hurriedly stumbles out of the faculty room. That's weird. Jeez. A big sigh escapes my lips. There's nothing I can do about it. I have to investigate the departed. And sometimes the only way I can make progress is by getting the students' cooperation. I shouldn't refrain from asking them. That's a bitch. The school will be closing shortly. All students, please promptly vacate the school grounds for today. It's finally time for the students to leave school. Head back to the infirmary and try to come up with some kind of strategy for tonight. Alright, so it does look like everyone's gone. Who's gonna be waiting for us? Oh, it's you. God damn it. Welcome back, Mr. Yashiki. What are you doing here, Abe? School's ended a while ago. You better go home now. Goodness, that is too much. I'm not asking for grand gestillations of friendship, but it wouldn't hurt you to be a tad bit kinder, you know. After all, I have come all the way here to provide you with information regarding the departed. Come again? With the lack of notice and no new pertinent information, I'm pretty desperate. Let's give him a listen for now. I'm listening. Tell me more. Before we get to the meat of my report, there's something I'd like to tell you. This will be my final act of assistance. I shall cease pursuing the departed after this. Oh, really? What's with the sudden decision? I saw something with my left eye. I witnessed my own tragic end assaulted by a terrifying demon with numerous legs. By demon with numerous legs, I assume he must be referring to some kind of bug. If you want to deride me for my cowardice, feel free to do so. But I won't die if I abandon my pursuit now. My master has also warned me to do so. I'm not going to laugh at you. You made a wise decision. However, it seems like you have not been afforded the same option. You cannot run from the departed any longer. So this is my parting gift to you as you take another step closer to death. The departed, a name we learned through the notices. However, that sinister name has existed since long before we first heard of it. 100 years ago, before Konohara Academy was ever founded, a dark incident occurred on these lands. There was a small village called M-Town near Konohara. At some point, residents of M-Town succumbed to an unknown disease one by one. In the end, the village was destroyed and the incident was forgotten. I've seen the other game I'm doing on the other channel. But one of the residents said this before they died. This is the departed's wrath. This is the most valuable information I've ever found. That's some interesting information. Where did you learn it? From the former headmaster. He liked to study the school's history during his spare time. When the first notice arrived, I went to him and asked if he knew something. So he told you about the departed's wrath? Yes, it sounded like mere ghost stories to him more than anything. He was a realist. He didn't believe in the departed. If I remember correctly, the headmaster died of a heart attack, didn't he? Yes. If he were still alive, you might have learned more valuable information from him. Right after the departed's first notice arrived, the only person who knew about their past died. Another convenient coincidence. Well, I shall be going home soon. To tell you the truth, I've been feeling under the weather. Perhaps I'm possessed. Oh, it's sapping everybody's energy. Now that I think about it, I've heard similar complaints from a lot of people today. It could just be an outbreak of some disease, but the events of last night suddenly crossed my mind. What if the departed's transformation now gives them the power to not only affect the school, but the humans as well? Or am I overthinking things? Mr. Yashiki, the gruesome death I saw with my left eye also applies to you. What awaits you is an inevitable catastrophe. I hate to see the great spirit doctor lose his life this way. After despondently speaking those words, Abe leaves the room. I guess I'll take that as a sign that he's really worried about me. The sun sets and the darkness falls on Konihara Academy. How many times have I greeted the night here? Why is the phone ringing now? Hello? Oh, it's me, Michio Kinukawa. Thank goodness you're still at the school. What's wrong? Just wanted to ask if you made any progress with your investigation. I'm curious. I'm in front of the school now. Mind coming out? I don't mind, but we can just talk over the phone. Oh, geez, it's fine, isn't it? I'll be waiting then. That's not good. Sakamoto just gave me that warning today. Oh well, I have no choice since I made a promise. Should I head to the main gate now? Can't do any trades. That's not what I wanted. My ass wanted to save. My ass definitely wanted to save. This is gonna go up really bad. Oh, they are here, okay. Alright, let's see. The bag. The lights in the hallway are glowing red. Given the lack of commotion right now, I'm guessing nobody's noticed yet. Oh well, it's pretty hard to miss, so someone's going to notice sooner or later. Well, the doll's wearing a red dress. Michio's waiting in front of the main gate. The moment she sees me, she rushes over like a puppy. Good evening, Mr. Yoshiki. You look tired today. Not even surprised, though. How are you feeling? Same old, same old. A bit tired since I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately. Never mind that. How's your investigation going? Did you learn any new facts? Not a lot, but... I tell her about the story of the departed's wrath that I heard from Abe. Wrath the Departed? That sounds like something from a fantasy novel. Did the previous headmaster tell you anything? Nope, I wasn't particularly close to him. I'm a student council vice president, but I usually just have Hime deal with the teachers. Oh, okay. There was something that caught my attention. Remember M-Town coming up? I remember M-Town coming up in one of the cases somehow. Now that she mentions it, that name does sound quite somewhat familiar. In which case did M-Town show up? M-Town was in Kashima because we took the train, or the bus. I recall what happened when we were investigating Slipmouth Kashima. Yeah, I feel like I saw that name during Slipmouth Kashima's investigation. Where did I see the name M-Town? I try to remember what was written on the bus route map I saw. Bingo! One of the bus stops I saw that time was M-Town Shop. I immediately let Michio know about it. Oh, you're right. You sure have a good memory. If the owner of the is a descendant of an M-Town resident, they might have some documents from the past. I'll try to go to M-Town shop. Sure, let's go there together. Wait a minute. You're coming with me? Of course I am. But don't you have a curfew? No need to worry, Hime can handle it. The dorm manager trusts her, you know? That's not the issue, though. I don't want to leave you alone. Carrying these burdens all by yourself just seems really tough. Tough, huh? I guess it is. Mr. Kanoe's ultimatum, Sakamoto's hostility, Abe's prediction of death, the departed constantly targeting me, the students I couldn't protect, Damon's unconscious in the hospital bed. My heart is screaming from all the weight it's bearing, but I've chosen to close my ears and ignore it. I know I can't help carry all that heavy baggage, but I can at least help you relax a bit. Words said before disaster. I'm begging you, I'm not asking for too much. I guess I don't get a choice on this. Her kindness tastes as sweet as honey to my exhausted mind. Except, there's a chance she might be the departed. Michio and I climb into the car I parked near the school. The M-Town shop isn't too far from here. Yeah, this is starting to feel like the last. I park my car nearby and walk toward the bus stop in front of M-Town shop. This shop is so creepy. The building is run down and there's no sign of life inside. Doesn't look like anyone actually lives here. Well, we'll find out for sure once we check it out. Crooked guardrail and a slanted pole. Looking at the brake marks on the road, it seems like there was a car accident here. Safe driving is important. You should take that to heart, Mr. Yoshiki. You want to walk back to the school? No. There's an old mailbox hanging on a wooden wall. When I peer inside, I find a postcard. I wonder what it's a postcard of. Let's check it out. It's for our investigation. Why are you being so casual about everything? Without responding, and before I can tell her to stop, Michio's ready to get her hand on the mailbox lid. Huh? It's not opening. Is it locked? I don't see any kind of keyhole, though. Don't be a little... A vending machine with bottled water inside. A rare sight these days. Judging by the lack of light. Okay, yep. These vending machines are rare. I've seen that, yeah. The other side of this dusty glass door is pitch black, preventing us from seeing the inside of the store from this vantage point. There's a faded paper on the word morning on it's pasted in the glass door. Isn't this a morning notice? I think they hang it on houses when they're supposed to remove it after 49 days. You sure know a lot about strange things, huh? When my grandma died, one of my relatives told me about it. But does that mean someone here passed away sometime in the past 7 weeks? I suppose it would imply that. Ghost vision. What's going on here? I hear an eerie male voice coming from inside the shop. Wonder who's inside. There's no bell anywhere around the store. We'll just have to knock on the door to see if there's someone inside. Get out. There's no response. Maybe they're asleep. Let's try it again. Still no response. Let's give it one last try. Third time's the charm, right? A scene suddenly flashes before my eyes, and that scene is... Oh dear God. Oh, that's beautiful. An elderly man laying on the ground of an old store. His head is deformed and swelling to the point of becoming gelatinous. Swarms of centipedes continue to issue forth from his eyes. Bugs. This. The departed's wrath. The moment he stops speaking, his body also stops twitching. All that moves in the dark now are the bugs. I wonder what caused this to happen. I can no longer hear any responses coming from his gaping mouth. There is one thing that I'm dead certain about. He said this was the departed's wrath. What's wrong? I saw what happened. The owner of the shop, he was probably killed by the departed's wrath. I described the vision I saw to Michio. So the departed that was being mourned was the old man. The person that was being mourned was that old man you saw then? I guess so, yeah. But they had a mourning notice up, which means they had a funeral, and that means his corpse must have been found. That's odd because the other victim's corpses disappeared. How could that happen? Didn't Kakuta's corpse remain too, though? Maybe there are times when they don't need to get rid of the corpse or something. I don't understand. This is just my guess, but the departed wants to continue this whole little notice game. If there's actually a dead body found at the school, the police will notice. There's a chance that the school will be closed, and then there won't be any students, so maybe they just discard the corpses at school. But Manabe's body also disappeared, and she didn't die at the school. That one was probably because of you, though. With that corpse in the hospital, the cops probably would have arrested you, and that's also not something the departed wants. That actually makes sense, since I'm supposed to be their husband. And this ends my sloppy deduction. Thank you for listening. Although she doesn't think too highly of her reasoning, I have to admit, I think it does make sense. This corpse was found outside the school and had no ties to me, therefore it remained. Why was he cursed, though? I'm not sure, but maybe it's because he was a descendant of an M-Town resident? M-Town was destroyed by the departed's wrath. While we don't know what exactly happened there, the wrath still remains, and it killed the old man. What was that sound? It came from the mailbox. There's an old mailbox, and I peer inside, I find a postcard. Doesn't look any different. Maybe I was just hearing things? Just to be sure, I try and open the lid one more time. Unlike last time, it opens easily. How is this possible? Did something just happen to get caught, so the mailbox refused to open, or was there a trigger or something? Oh well, not like I'm going to get an answer. Time to see what was locked away. I collect the postcard. It's addressed to M-Town Shop, though I have no idea who the sender is. Oh, the sender's the previous headmaster. I flip the card over and find some words of gratitude written on it. This is obviously some kind of thank you letter from the previous headmaster. Reading the letter more thoroughly, the shop owner apparently donated an old book about M-Town's rituals to the school. An old book about M-Town, huh? Interesting. This should be in Konoha Academy now. Probably in the library. Although, if they consider it to be a valuable item, they might have put it away somewhere else for safekeeping. We came this far, and that's where the trail leads, so why don't we try looking for it? Let's go to Konohara Academy. It would be, yeah. I leave N-Town shop and get into the car I parked nearby. The trip back to Konohara Academy should only take about 5 minutes if we don't get caught in traffic. Throughout the ride, Michio only stares blankly at the scenery outside. She was in such high spirits earlier, I wonder what's wrong. Say, Mr. Yoshiki, do you have a moment? Michio calls out to me in a low, subdued voice, as if she was waiting for the right moment to spring something on me. I need your opinion on something. It's related to The Departed. Once again, nice art. Mind if I talk about it? Sure, go ahead. It's about The Departed's notice. Do you remember how many notices we've gotten? Okay, so there's 6. Including the one that arrived before I came to school. We have 5 cases. So the one before, if you add the one before, it'd be 6. Correct. Way to go. I try to recall the 6th notice. The first was targeting Ribbon, aka Kyoko Tsukai. The second one was targeting pianist Toshihiko Izumi. The third notice was for Naomi, the model, and the fourth was for Megumi Manabe, gold prize. 5th was for Doru and Michio, student council, and finally, hooligan, Shinichi Kakuta. What about the notices? I want to know what the purpose was for issuing the notices. The Departed is in the spirit who goes around committing horrible acts for fun. They'd issued these notices with a goal in mind. Ever since the model notice, they've been releasing those notices to test you, their husbands. But what about the first 2? Well, now you've got me all curious about it too. Do you have any ideas? Well, yeah, sorta. If they issued the letter notice as a trial for their husband, I'm guessing that also applied to the first 2. So are you saying there was already a marriage candidate even before I arrived at the school? Yep. If I'm right, who do you think it was? It wasn't Sakamoto. The potential husband before me was... Izumi is the only one I can think of. I think so too. Izumi was different from the other victims. Before he was murdered, he said, "The Departed is calling me." I actually heard his last words. Seems like he knew the Departed's true identity. Seriously, who was it? Well, he didn't actually say. But if he really did learn the Departed's true identity, he probably was being put on trial. So the first notice really was issued to test Izumi, huh? Guess he was deemed unfit since he abandoned Takai and ran away. Maybe that's why he became the second target? I showed up at Konohara Academy at that time. I don't know what they saw in me, but they chose me as their next potential husband. And you didn't run away and actually accepted the challenge. You tried to save those spirit souls. That cool side of yours must have fit with their image of an ideal husband. And that concludes Michio Kinokawa's deduction. Man, I sure have a good imagination, right? Maybe I can be a novelist or something. To be honest, I'm blown away by the story that Michio concocted for me. It's as if the Departed themselves is telling me their plans. No, she's a red herring. I would have never thought that you could piece together their train of thought so well. I'm surprised. Michio smiles, her fingers playing with her white hair. I suppose it's because that doll was cursed by the departed. Previously, she said she thought the departed was a female doll. I guess she still stands by that opinion. Somehow, I can understand how they feel, like when I was possessed by Kashima. The departed has been longing for an ideal husband for who knows how long. And then they found you. Michio? Don't do anything while we're driving. I love you. I want to vow to live happily ever after with you. Then I want to... Uh-oh. Eat you up. Uh-oh. Michio? Just kidding. Come on now. Oh, don't be mad, please. I ended up getting carried away when I started acting like the departed. How was it? Did I freak you out? Kinda nailed it. Probably should say don't tease. Sorry. When I saw that gloomy face of yours, I just had an urge to tease you. Good thing Sakamoto isn't here. We should be arriving at Konoha Academy soon. When I open the window to let the cold night air in, I don't think I can bear this indescribable atmosphere. Whoa, why are the lights red? Oh right, I didn't tell you about it. They've been like this since last night. I think the departed did this, but I could be wrong. I see. Is this their way of trying to charm you? In what way exactly? Let's see. The departed thinks you're their ideal husband, right? They do, yeah. This is something I've seen on TV. In the Shinto weddings, bonfires and paper lanterns are usually lit at night to illuminate the path of the newlyweds. I figure these lights are their version of that. They're really going all out They're really going all out to perfect every detail of their wedding then. I mean, everything they do is pretty detailed. They issue fancy notices, even blend themselves in with people in the school. Bet they're having so much fun. I don't doubt that. Among spirits, there are some who feel their greatest pleasure when they're inflicting fear on humans. Supposedly an exquisite pleasure that humans cannot comprehend. The departed might be one of those spirits. It doesn't seem to be causing any harm, so probably shouldn't pay much attention to it. Let's just ignore it for now. You're a strong one, aren't you? Shall we go to the library then? Why don't you go back to the dorms? It's getting late. Boo, don't wanna. Let me tag along until the end. I'm curious to know where this leads. But how about I promise I'll go home once we find the old book? Just let me stay until then. Fine. What if I don't wanna? Then I'll still tag along. Sheesh. I better find that old book as soon as possible so this curfew-breaking student will head home. Best place to find the old book should be the library. Is all that paper now looks red? That's interesting. All the ink, I should say, looks red. What the library? Well, there are some who are interested in plants, but not me. I only see plants as bug food. This bookshelf is filled with all sorts of encyclopedias and picture books. Oh, this is... The World Beetle Encyclopedia is back, huh? Now you can see as many beautiful beetles as you want. Michio takes out the book with a stern-looking beetle on the cover. Man, I really can't get enough of this. All of them are just so cute. I guess this is how men must feel when they look at gravure magazines. I don't know how to reply to that. Like you see, this elephant beetle is just adorable. Look at the silhouette in this corner. Michio's about to show the picture from the book when something falls out. Oh, we're still doing this, okay. Why is that here? And it came from the Encyclopedia of All Things. Are they challenging me? Don't ask me. This is the library checkout counter. There's nothing particularly unusual about it. I've been checking out books related to insects. I recommend World's Weirdest Insects. Jesus, girl.
Yoshi.
There's a wooden box storage cabinet. There's a wooden book storage cabinet with a glass door. It seems to store special books that aren't allowed to leave the school premises. Since old books would be considered valuable items, it should be somewhere around here. Michio and I split up to check each book storage section. Each city's locational documents, old maps are stored together in the school's newspaper folder. I skimmed the documents, hoping to find something related to the departed, but to no avail. I can't seem to find anything that looks like an old book either. Hey, Mr. Yoshiki, this book has some information about M-Town. Michio shows me a book titled H City's Local History, which was self-published by the previous headmaster. Issued a year ago, this book apparently was only given to a family and close friends. Thinking this might be connected to the case, I write down the bits about M-Town in my notes. Konohara Academy in M-Town. Konohara used to be a small town named M. The area where Konohara Academy currently sits was once M-Town's downtown. M-Town had its own beliefs and customs, though they gradually disappeared following the westernization that occurred during the Meiji period. Furthermore, the plague that occurred at the end of the Meiji period caused a sharp decrease in its population. The survivors all called it the Departed's Wrath, but autopsy. I know how to read that word and it's pissing me off. Autopsies. Wow! I have never gotten hung up on that word before. My brain is broken. Determined to actually be cholera. It's still unknown what the departed refers to, though some speculate it may be tied to their local folklore. M-Town's religion. 2 earthly deities were enshrined in M-Town. One of them was Mushigami. Details regarding this deity are hazy, as there are not many traces of M-Town customs, though it does beg the question, did these people really make an insect their god? Mushigami's shrine was said to be located in the vicinity of Konohara Academy's old building. Because the shrine was already half ruined when the school was founded, they demolished it to build the old buildings. When the first headmaster, Genzoi Kanoa, had the shrine demolished, he tried to placate Mushigami and the soul of those who died of the plague. This is how the shrine in the connecting corridors came to be. Both teachers and students might have called it Kokori Shrine, but that's actually incorrect. It was simply named after the guardian fox of the Mushigami Shrine, which is now standing in the courtyard. Lord Mushigami, huh? What a beautiful name. I want to know their connection to the departed. How should I put this? There are many stories where the gods punish humans for destroying their shrines. The departed's wrath began before the shrine was destroyed, though. True, but I don't think those things are completely unrelated. It could also be that they were letting their shrine go to waste, like they were letting it fall apart, because those who knew about the wrath died one after the other. You see the picture of the talisman over there? I think they had a good taste for choosing centipedes, don't you think so too? Is the theme Scolopendra that thingy. Michio points at a photo on the edge of a page about the local history. Oh, we've seen that before. It's an old talisman with a centipede drawn on it. Looking at the detail, this talisman was made at Mushigami Shrine. Apparently, the previous headmaster got his hands on it. In M-Town, people believed they could escape danger by putting this talisman in front of their houses. Why do I feel like I've seen this talisman somewhere before? Now, where was it? Ah, that's right. The shrine on the second floor. There are talismans hanging there. But all we found inside the shrine were petri dishes. There wasn't any information related to M-Town. According to the book, that shrine was built to replace M-Town's Mushigami Shrine. So, what are the disaster-preventing talismans doing hanging in a shrine that's been around for so long? Were they that afraid of Mr. Kokori's rumors or something? I just remembered. I saw the talisman before. Michio, who is peering at the book beside me, speaks up. The shrine in the connecting corridor, right? To my surprise, she shook her head in disagreement. Where did you see it then? Over there. I was completely confused at the time, but I saw that talisman with my own eyes. A place where she was completely confused? Don't tell me she saw that talisman at... Was it... Don't remember one at the cemetery or the old building. Exactly. When both Kimi and I were on the ground, I saw that talisman. Why don't we inspect the clock tower? It's locked, though. It was open at that time, no? I mean, it's already nighttime, so who knows? Maybe it opens again. It might be indeed. It doesn't make any logical sense, but I'm still willing to believe that in that slim chance. Let's go to the clock tower. Before we do, I want to look around a bit more. I get everything.
こここれは
Thought there was another place you could look around.
これは
No, I thought there was.
うん
Yeah, okay. I thought there was another spot. But I could be wrong.
よし
Can't look it over there. Okay. Yeah, there's
うん
Before we go there, we're going to do a quick save. And then I will see you guys next time. So, I hit the right spot, didn't I? So, thank you guys for joining me. Wow, that is a short level. See you guys next time.